Uncensored is a podcast where real-life coders share their stories, best practices, and talk about coding and beyond. Coders Uncensored, podcast, real-life coders,
best practices,
coding and beyond. Coding and beyond. This is Coders Uncensored.
Welcome, coders and people. I'm Angel Cora. I'm the senior coder of the group.
And je m'appelle Trevis T, the newest coder on the block.
Yes, and Mandy is actually in the producing room right now, making sure we're all good and we're all live. And this is Coders Uncensored. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because I have our pup here running around. So if you hear any paws running around, you already know what it is. This week, the topic for this week is Trevor, do you know the topic of this week?
Polyglot Programming?
That's correct. And the only reason why I have you saying it first is because you are our polyglot of the group, right?
Yeah, I do a little something.
Oh, don't be modest. Oh, don't be modest, my man. So those who are listening, who don't know Trevis, well, he legit travels the world, right? And your goal, not your goal, but your kind of hobby is learning different languages.
Right.
Not just programming languages, but like legit languages.
Right.
You want to sprinkle a little bit of your Trevis awesomeness on that?
Right. So just start off with just trying to learn Spanish, out of survival when I lived in Florida. And then I went from that to a little bit of Portuguese, a little bit Arabic, a little bit of, right now, Japanese, Korean. So it just became one of those things where every time I perform somewhere, I know enough to get around, even do a contract, to perform a show in those different languages and stuff like that. So, it just became one of those things, and try to apply it to coding too.
I've been able to witness that, and it's pretty impressive because all I know is Spanish, English, and French. Well, I can read French. I can't say any other shit in French. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool that you're able to do all that and you're able to learn and understand all that.
Yeah, it's a part of your brain, I think, that opens up once you start doing it. It's just like coding. Like, once you start coding, then you learn how to code more. It's like, once you open up the languages, it's just like, next thing I know, I was like, oh, man, I understood what they said, and you're saying it back. And, it's just like, if you tell yourself you can do it, you definitely can do it.
Absolutely. And I kind of jumped everywhere this morning because it is the morning for us. It is 9 a.m. We've been awake since 7:30, just prepping up for this live stream and the show. And we're currently live streaming now on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So we're on all fours right now. That came out wrong. Send in your questions, comments, and we'll read them on the show towards the end of the show or whenever Mandy really feels like it, because she's the one who throws it up. So if you're listening to us through the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always great to have listeners on all our other podcast channels like Spotify, Google Music, and so forth. But before we jump into talking about polyglot programming, Trevis, talk to us about your week. How was it?
Oh, it's a very interesting week. This week I had a chance to work with a client that was not that tech savvy. Okay. Yeah. So we're making adjustments to help this client out, and it just shows what you can do when you go above and beyond. But there are many people who want to maybe get a website or deal with someone coding. They want to purchase your services, but they're not tech savvy. So you may have to do some old school, meeting in person, things like that. And it's fun because it's like, man, these clients are better than some people who are so tech savvy who won't respond back to you.
Right.
That definitely showed me a lot. But so interesting week working with that and cleaning up some stuff. What about you? How's your week been?
To be honest, it's a blur. It's always a blur, right? But I do feel like the highlight was this new client that we have. He's just a sweet old man. And I love everything about this man, like everything he embodies. And just to talk a little bit more about this, I mean, we have been lucky enough to have clients that are very tech savvy, right? So they understand what timeframes are and how much effort is behind every little single piece of code that we write. But for this example, like my man is just like, hey, do whatever you want. I don't know. I just want this. So So what was the sweetest thing? Again, one of the sweetest man. But like as simple as what was it, sending us the logo so we could create like a whole landing page based off of the logo and the colors. What is he gonna do?
He wants to give it to me by hand. He wants to. Young brother. Like, okay, but we need the actual digital, logo, and I don't know how we're gonna do that. But we're gonna figure it out.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna meet him in person, because that's what he wants.
Exactly, and
he wants to pay us. So right. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna take your money and we're gonna figure it out.
And he's gonna literally hand you over the logo.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even argue with him. Once I realized he wasn't getting everything, I was like, okay, and I just like, okay.
And this is a testament, we, as coders and as entrepreneurs and as everyone who's working with people who don't have that same tech background, we have to be patient. And I feel like we brought it up in episodes in the past about freelancing and entrepreneurship and so forth. And it's the truth. You have to be patient with everyone. Everyone is not in the same kind of coding standard as you are. So you always have to think like other people. Because all I think about is code, and I dream in code, and it's the shittiest thing in the world. But aside from that, I'm super excited to talk about polyglot programming, just because I feel like, I consider myself a full stack developer, right? And I can't even say it. Programming is very similar to that, only a little bit more, what's the word I'm trying to find? Intensive, I feel. Right. So let's dig deeper into that. But before we do, Mandy, could you please put up a quick word from our sponsor?
Stay informed on health and laws regarding cannabis, from agriculture and business to entertainment and fun topics. Geek Cannabis is your online source for news and updates about cannabis, CBD, and hemp worldwide. GeekCannabis.com.
All right. With that being said, thank you, Good Cannabis, for the sponsorship, like always. With that being said, let's introduce our featured coder, right? So our featured coder is Saurav Sahu. He comes from India, and it's the pretty badass India. Like, I didn't know there's a Silicon Valley of India, which I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. Let me research more. And now I need to go right now. So Polyglot, I cannot say it for the life of me. The polyglot programmer that we all love, Saurav, welcome to the show.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I kept kind of like not being able to say polyglot. Yes. It's a tongue twister for me. Well, but anyhow, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, no, it's exciting to have you here. Can you, for anyone who's listening and watching, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do and where you came from?
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Odisha in India. I'm a full stack engineer, and I've been coding for almost 9 years now, 9 or 10 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, and I love bike riding.
Bike riding, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's dope. But yeah, no, let's jump into the coder questions because I feel like we do have a lot of things to cover. And yeah, let's just right into it. Mandy, can you roll the credits for us? Thank you very much. So, Trevis, could you start this week's questioning?
Yes, let's start coder question. The first question was, now, sorry, what was the first programming language that you learned?
So I started off with C++, and that was because that's what I had in school. That's where I formally chose computer science, and we were taught C++. But I think the first, I wouldn't say it's a programming language. We started off with HTML. So I wouldn't say that's the first programming language per se. But yeah, so C++ is what it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
C++.
That's amazing. Yeah, we had, what was it? Atlanta, we had episode 1, and she was a C plus. No, not C plus. She was C sharp. C plus plus was someone else. And I remember, I'm sorry, this is, I'm getting a little bombed here by our pup here. But yeah, no, C plus plus is definitely a difficult language that I try. Not a difficult language, just different. It's very different. So much power to you on that, because it is, it's definitely a lot more complicated for me, at least, to learn. So like following up on that question, I wanted to ask, what made you move from your first programming language? Because I learned, what's the first thing I learned? I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then I thought to myself, maybe I should learn React, and then that's when I did that transition. So yeah, what was your next programming language? Or what made you move on from your first programming language?
Yeah, so I think this was around grade 12, where I was really into Microsoft's Windows platform, and Windows 8 had come out then, and that was pretty new to me. All the Windows Store apps that people were creating, that was kind of fascinating, and I saw that you could create them with C Sharp. So actually, I started learning C Sharp by myself. And there's no, that's the only reason I switched to C Sharp.
Wait, it was your love for the Windows apps?
Yes.
So we were working on C++. Windows 8 comes out, where it was the big thing, Windows 8, and you're like, because of Windows 8 and everything, these apps, I'm gonna learn C Sharp, and that was your reason for doing it. Okay, that's great. That's great.
That, I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time I ever hear that. That's the first time I ever heard that's the reason why they switched. So that's amazing.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Now, what inspired you to write your own VS Code extension?
Oh, yeah. So this is more recent, and now I've kind of moved on to both C Sharp and doing JavaScript at the same time. Mm-hmm. So the reason for this extension was basically, and by the way, if you don't know what it is, there are kind of two reasons for creating this. One is whenever I'm trying to create something new, I usually screw up my VS Code profile, change some settings. I don't know what I changed. So one thing to solve was to kind of create an isolated profile so I could tinker there, change things around and play with stuff. The other one was to, whenever we work with larger teams, everybody has different set of settings, different extensions, and the idea was to kind of bring all of those together and make sure that everybody has the same settings. So that's two of the main reasons why I created this.
So listen, I haven't told Trevis yet, and I haven't told the team yet at Namber Group, but yes, we're definitely going to be downloading this, because if you didn't capture that, Trevis, I mean, it is something that we create our settings and we share it with one another,
As soon as you said larger teams, it made me realize, remember the time when you looked at my VS Code and I didn't have any of the settings that you had?
Yep.
It's for the larger teams, so we can pass that on. But even before that, when he was talking about doing with the JavaScript and the C Sharp, which is they have nothing at all to do with each other. Yeah. That's like for someone listening, that's you're speaking Spanish right here, and then you just start Arabic and come there there's not even close. You just
yeah.
And he's there let me make an extension, get all the same settings, and then just you want to prove to your team you're smarter than them. Basically, is what you're telling them.
Yeah. Pretty much, right? No, that's awesome. Sort of really, it really is. I was actually looking at the plugin or the extension before our call. So yeah, it's something we're definitely going to be downloading, and we will leave a good review on there for you.
Nice.
So I do have a question. What's the one common factor that you've discovered between your preferred programming language? And an example that I usually like to give is JavaScript and ES6. No, I'm sorry, not JavaScript, ES6 and jQuery. There is a for each now on ES6, but there's also an each and jQuery that feels similar. So I feel like that's a common factor between those two. For you, it's a little bit more complicated because, you have a lot C#, C++, JavaScript. So is there any common factor between those that we don't know about?
Yeah, so not all of them have anything common, but C++ and C# are kind of similar. Both are object-oriented, of course. And so if you know C++ and you put those pluses together, it becomes a hash. That's how they named it C#. So that's the concepts are similar. And in terms of JavaScript, it's not similar to C# at all, but TypeScript is. So TypeScript is also by Microsoft. So they wanted to make sure that the concepts from C# come over to the front end. So they made TypeScript, which is very much similar to C#.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. So you know TypeScript as well. And how do you know which language to learn next?
That's a tough one. So I don't. So all of the languages that I've learned are out of necessity. So you saw I wanted to make a Windows app, so I learned C#. Then I wanted to do front end stuff, so I learned JavaScript. And now you can obviously do that in the backend as well with Node.js. Wanted to do some infrastructure stuff, so learn Terraform. So it depends on what I'm working with. That will decide what I'm going to learn next.
And how many programming languages would you say you know now?
Oh, that's a good question.
So let's see here. So we started off with C++, then C#, learned C and a little bit of Java in college, JavaScript, TypeScript, if you can say that it's a new language, but it's really not. So I know a little bit of Python, not a whole lot, but worked with it. And if you consider Terraform, that's one. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
So you definitely are a polyglot programmer.
Oh man, I love that. Oh, and that's pretty much it.
It's about 8 languages. Just when I get bored,
Oh, that's hilarious. No, thank you so much for that. I was gonna actually ask that question, Trev. So thank you for asking that because that is an excellent question. So thank you for all those questions, Saurav. Now we're actually going to try to transition right now from coder questions, which is very tech heavy, to a more fun side of everything, right? So, Trevis, do you think you could read out the if and if?
Yep. So in this segment, we want to learn more about you. Okay, we'll ask you a series of questions, and you have to choose one. But instead, we'll call it if and in if. All right. All right, so let's get into the questions, man. React versus C#.
That's a good one.
To be honest with you, I don't do React anymore. I try to avoid it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So I'd say C#.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of front end, I would prefer Svelte. But React is a good choice as well.
Okay. All right, I may need help pronouncing this next one, but let's see. Gobi Manchurian versus BC Belly Baf.
Yeah, these are great dishes.
So these are traditional cuisine.
Yes. So Gobi Manchurian, that's cauliflower, and BC Belly Bath is basically rice with a spicy curry on top.
That's me. That sounds more for me. I choose the second one.
I personally prefer non-vegetarian, so I'd say neither. But if I had to choose, I'd say Gobi Manchurian.
Gotcha. Okay. If they had a vegetarian version of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Let's get it.
We have someone saying go BC Belly Bath. Yay.
Yes.
All right.
Wait, that's the one with the spices, right?
Yep.
Okay, yes. Then,
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So next question. Working from home versus coding from a destination.
I think working from home.
Yeah.
Because if I'm at a destination, I would definitely want to go out rather than be working.
Very true.
Yeah, stay in, keep it low, right?
That is such an accurate answer because when we were on the road in Florida and in North Carolina, we did the shows from there. It was so hard to stay focused because all we wanted to do was go out, So you're absolutely right. Working from home does sound more productive than working from the destination.
It's the new normal now. That's we've been doing that for a year now.
Yeah, I know, right?
All around the world, the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. All right, next question. Netherlands versus France.
Ooh. Well, quick question, sort of. Have you visited Netherlands?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I visited both Netherlands and France.
Okay.
But I'd have to say France for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, why is that?
Yeah, so when I visited Europe a couple of years back, I was kind of attached to Paris and mainly the architecture and its history and everything. So yeah, last year I started learning French and now kind of love everything about France. So definitely France.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you fluent yet, or are you still trying to learn the French language?
I say I know a couple of words and I can make some basic conversation.
Yeah, just
like introduce myself and stuff. Yeah.
You'll get it. The same way you get all these coding languages, you'll get it. keep talking. Talk about code if you have to. You'll learn.
We should have done this entire episode in French.
You might be able to Trevis too.
Yes, exactly.
All right, next question, Mandy. Multiple screens versus single screen.
That should be easy. Come on, Saurav. I know you got this.
Yeah. Yes, multiple screens. You definitely have to have a video playing in the background for sure.
Exactly. It's not for coding. It's not for coding.
Now, what video?
Anything YouTube. I watch a lot of John Oliver on YouTube. Really enjoy it, and maybe music sometimes. But the Mac has a really bad problem. It doesn't like when I use multiple screens. Slows down everything.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
I have to ask, Trevis. I think you use a single screen when you work, right?
When I'm coding on this one, yeah. But I have always, like right now, I got two computers here. Like one computer is something else, and then this is will just be coding.
Yeah.
But when I don't know, when I'm in a zone though, I'll hook it up to the big screen. I had a big screen where I'm actually coding off the bigger screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all about having two screens, just like Soto said. One with the Netflix on, and the other one with the code. So in case you get bored, you look to your right.
For me, I have my Spotify on this screen or something. Yep. This one's code. This computer is doing something else. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but it gotta be multiple screens in the whole setup. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, cool. I think we got one more question. Coffee versus tea.
Coffee, for sure.
Good job. My man.
Yes. Actually, before the whole remote situation, I didn't used to drink much of coffee or tea. But now the weather it's so hot that I have to have a cold coffee in the morning.
My friend, you became a coffee addict. That's what it is. We've all become addicted to caffeine and coffee, and we just got to say it loud and proud.
You don't drink coffee. Just never have. I just don't like it. I'm a morning person anyway, as you can see. So yeah, but some of my favorite tea actually I recently got a few months ago. Actually from India, it's like a special Indian Tai Chi. There's a Tai Chi tea that they have, and it's delicious, like very delicious. So I'm a tea guy. I have all types of teas, but coffee just never did it for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, our producer's the same actually. Producer Mandy hates coffee. She makes a hell of a coffee though. Like every time she does make coffee, she kind of eyeballs everything and somehow makes art. right? But with tea, yeah, man, I can never get into it. I don't know if there's one time, and Saurav, I apologize. We are very cannabis friendly people here. So if there's one day we kind of just got stoned, and she made a tea. So I don't know. It was really good. So I don't know if it was because I was stoned or because it was just really good, So I was never able to replicate that.
Right. Yes, you have to replicate it. Yes.
Yeah. So I only have one great experience, and I'm pretty sure it was because of cannabis.
Remember, Saurav has been to Goa, so we can't say that he did.
Exactly.
A little bit about everything.
Listen, Saurav, you're gonna have to take us. We're gonna have to take a trip over there, and you're gonna have to take us and show us everything about that.
All right, cool.
But yeah,
you answered those questions great.
Yeah, no, thank you. So now we're gonna go on to even something more personal, right? We're gonna go. Our next segment is called "Explain the Source Code." So in this segment, we're going to pull some pictures, and when I say we, it means Mandy, because Mandy went through your social channels, and we're gonna ask you a simple question: what's the backstory and what's the source code behind these pictures? Mandy, can you roll the credits, please? Fair warning, we have not seen the pictures yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first describe it for our listeners, and then we're going to go ahead and then bring in your backstory, your source code for it. So Mandy, let's see the first one. Okay, so in this picture, we see something delicious. Something, all I can say really is delicious. We see fries on the left. It may be fries, but it also kind of looks like sweet potato. And on the right-hand side, we see a burger. No, that's a veggie burger. I don't know what that is, but that looks fantastic. So what's the backstory and the source code on this?
Yes. So first of all, I didn't make it. I ordered it. And yeah, the one on the left, they're fries, but they're peri-peri fries. So extra spicy because I really like spicy food. And the one on the right, the burger is chicken burger and 2 patties with some cheese on top. Excellent.
Mandy, can you throw that one up again? Because I do want to admire how freaking gorgeous this thing is. Like, look how clean that's on.
It's put together very well.
Yeah, like whoever put this, did you put this together? Was this something that you purchased like through delivery and it came home and then you laid it out on your counter, or was this a restaurant?
Yeah, I ordered it online, and yeah, it's basically a fast food joint, and they ordered it, and thankfully it was in great condition. And
oh my God!
Yeah, 5 minutes after this, I was finished.
That is amazing fast food. You should see the crap fast food we have here.
Yeah. That looks like something for a commercial, right?
Yeah.
Man.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing.
What city was that you purchased that in?
It's in Bangalore.
See, we gotta go.
We're gonna have to party there. That's it.
Fast food like that? Okay.
For sure. Mandy, let's see the second one. All right, so this is a funny one. So here we have sort of very excited, like extremely excited. Like this is the most emotion I've seen in a person. And I feel like he wants to tell us a secret, but it's a good secret. It's almost like gossip. And he's looking at the camera saying, "Oh shit, look what I heard." So the question, what's the backstory on this? Now I'm very curious to what the backstory is on this.
Yes. So originally, I just sent this to a friend of mine. Didn't post it on social media, but when I did, so basically, I have 2 accounts, and this is for the programming one. Mm-hmm. So this is for when I discovered all the new amazing developers and engineers on social media, how they were promoting each other. So I wanted to express that feeling with this photo.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I love that. You know what? I'm going to try to do a replicate of it, and I'm going to tag you. And we're going to start a new hashtag trend.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So let's see the third picture. Let's see what Mandy throws out at us. So here we are. It's definitely a market, and I want to say they're pastries, so they're sweets. But I also see fruits, and that is definitely not an American thing because us Americans just eat a lot of fat when it comes to pastry. But this looks amazing. I feel like they're more like waffles, and each waffles there's chocolate and there's strawberry jam. I may be super wrong on this. So, Saurav, can you please tell us the backstory on this picture?
Yeah, you're actually exactly right. These are waffles, and this is in Brussels, in Belgium. So you know how famous Belgian waffles are.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so when nobody was looking, I quickly took a photo and then enjoyed my waffles.
What did you end up getting? Because that's a lot of options. I really don't know which one to get.
Waffle.
Just straight on the plain ice cream with waffles. That's it. Nothing fancy.
Is it part of that picture, the one you chose?
No. It's not in the photo.
Oh my God, that looks amazing.
Yes.
That's next level.
Yeah, they had like chocolate fountains where they covered the waffles with chocolate, and that was really good to watch.
Oh my God. Oh God, we have to go to Europe, Trevis. That's it. We have to go to Europe because I feel like we would. I can only imagine when we get the munchies and we're like, oh, we need to eat something. You know, here we're stuck with kind of like, all right, Taco Bell. I don't know if you've heard of Taco Bell, Saurav. Have you heard of Taco Bell?
Yes, I have.
It's really bad, but you kind of consume it because it's the only thing
available. So.
Yeah, it's the only thing available, that or McDonald's. You're like, I guess choose your poison. But I feel like with for example, Belgium, like that would be amazing to go there and choose any of those beautiful waffles.
Yes.
Yeah, like
thank you for throwing it up again because that is amazing.
Yeah. So you need to be like a tour guide because I've been to Europe. I've never seen no cool stuff like this. Like, man, yeah, you want to lace me up, man. Like, this is serious.
Yeah. After this episode, you're going to be planning your entire world tour all the way from Belgium to Goa to Bangalore.
Yep. You already know.
That's exactly it.
Yep. You know, some of that street food down there too. So
for anybody who's watching right now live, please send in your questions about the coding or anything delicious that you've seen because it's been very focused on food this episode, and I love it. I'm all for it. But before we jump into the next section of asking further questions, I do want to ask a quick question. With Belgium, with France, with Netherlands, I know you mentioned France is your favorite one, but what's your second favorite one? Because I feel like you've really been around.
So, yeah, it's difficult to choose second favorite.
Right?
Yes, but I'd say it's Switzerland because I've not really experienced colder weather much. So yeah, I went to Mount Titlis in Switzerland. It was really good. So I'd say Switzerland is going to be the second favorite.
Oh wow! I completely
You're planning your Switzerland trip as well.
Yeah. My man, you know it.
He said it, I was like, Switzerland.
There's a little bulb on top of my head, like, ding, yes, Switzerland. I completely forgot about Switzerland. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. So I'm excited now. Now I'm telling you, definitely not 2021. It's going to be 2022. Like we're going to do a whole world tour. But thank you so much for all those answers to those great pictures, and also as well for the if and and ifs. Now we're gonna go towards the end of the show, which is the Q&A section, which I know I have a few questions to ask. So Mandy, can you roll the QA credit? So mine is more for coding. I'm gonna start with the coding question. So I know you said you've been working with Svelte right now, and I've seen that you've actually spoken in a like forum, I guess, in a presentation. Oh, but before we jump into that, someone commented, said, "Let's make a stop at Amsterdam for a brownie or two." Krishan, yes, you're my guy.
My favorite.
That's what I love to read. Awesome. But I did see that you you presented at a Svelte conference or at a coding conference. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how did that conference go, or that speaking engagement? What did you present, and how did it go?
Yes. So I think this was last year. I don't know. I've lost track of time entirely.
Yeah.
Probably last year or last to last year. So I thought let's kind of. So I wasn't really good at public speaking before. So I thought let me give this a try, and that was when I had started off with Svelte. So this was basically me giving a talk about Svelte's basics because I had started learning it. I think a couple of months before then, and that was a local meetup that so Bangalore has a lot of meetups, different technologies, different groups of people who are doing really cool stuff, like ranging from front end to back end to basically everything tech. So that was my first talk at one of those meetups.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing, because I've been looking at these speaking engagements, but they get filled up quick. They get filled up quick, so it's also hard, and I'm always competing against other people who are just different, So that's really exciting. I'm glad you were able to do that. That must have been exciting to do.
Yes, it was. I think nowadays you can even it's all global, right? So now you can speak anywhere. That's really good.
No, absolutely. Trevis, I did have one more question. Did you have any question that you wanted to ask?
Yeah, I did have a question. My question was, I know you said you usually learn languages out of necessity, but have you already decided what your next language is going to be that you're going to learn in terms of programming languages?
I don't really see the need for any new language, mainly because the language that I already know, they are already so vast that I've not covered the entirety of them. But in case something does turn out to be really exciting and solves a lot of good problems, I'd definitely give it a try.
Okay, so like if next week something new comes out and it's fits and everything, you're gonna jump on it.
Yes, okay. Yes, for sure.
Cool.
Nice. So I'm taking a look more into Svelte, right? Ever since we had a conversation, I had to figure out what it is and what it does. And you prefer this over React, you mentioned. Is it, because I'm looking at the documentation actually right now as we speak, does it have similar like states? And it's because I have no idea how Svelte works, but you know how React has like states and Redux and everything? Does it have something similar?
Yes. So the main difference with Svelte compared to React would be the fact that the entire app that you write is fed into React's library, and it does stuff in the runtime. The radical difference in Svelte is that it compiles your app before you actually run it. So before you publish this app, you have to compile. Svelte is a compiler, so it compiles your front-end code to vanilla JavaScript. So that way, whatever you write is purely optimized JavaScript. So that way, and it also has almost similar functionality to React, like states and writing stores, support for CSS, all of that stuff. So
wow,
really, really cool stuff.
I'm a believer now. I'm gonna look into it.
Wow, that's cool.
No, that's fantastic. That was actually my question. Trev, did you have any more?
That was my main question. The answer. I don't think I have any more right
cool. Now. No. With that note, I think we literally covered it all. I mean, Saurav, you've been amazing. I have learned. I'm not gonna lie. I've learned a lot of culture, and I've learned a lot of the coding part of it, Polyglot, which I cannot print. I can't seem to say the word correctly.
You got it.
I got it this time, right? But first off, let's start wrapping up. So
Mandy has a question.
The what?
Mandy has a question.
Did you have a question, Mandy?
Yeah, let me read it. Yep. Where would you take us to eat once we get there?
We're definitely getting some non-vegetarian food for sure.
Yes. Well, we said non-vegetarian?
Yes, I did.
Oh. Well, I will say Mandy is more, our producer is a little bit more vegetarian than most. I don't
Oh,
want to say she's a full vegetarian because there's moments where she kind of breaks. But she definitely is the vegetarian of the group. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I love vegetarian and vegan food as well. I'm an equal opportunity food eater.
Yeah, I've had a great vegan curry before at an Indian restaurant here. It was amazing. It's called Haveli. It was amazing. So I'm not opposed to some Indian food that's vegetarian because I know so many spices and all that. It's a little bit different than just a plain American vegan. No, it's different. So we can do both different days, and and try
lots of options.
For real. And then of course she just commented right now saying, I'm okay with chicken. So after we give her this whole spiel about her being vegetarian, she's like, yeah, I can do chicken.
One more question. So I know you're a polyglot programmer, but how many languages do you speak though? How many other languages? Spoken languages?
Yeah, so English, Hindi, Odia, which is my native language, learning French. That's pretty much it.
Urdu or no?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and I understand a little bit of Kannada, a little bit of Bengali. These are all regional languages here.
Bengali. Oh. You speak any Gujarati?
No. You mean Gujarati, right? No.
Yeah, Gujarati. Yeah. Okay, cool.
No, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, like right now I'm all listening to everything you do know, and I can't grasp my head around it because I feel like I just kind of shut down with all the different information like that.
Like he knows like 15 languages between coding and spoken. You know what I'm saying? Together.
No, it's true because you really think about it. Coding is a language. You have to think in syntaxes. You have to think in like, or if else, I have to assign a variable. You have to think like a computer. So it's very true. It's very true. So I can't say any more good things about you and everything that you do. Thank you so much for being here. It was definitely a lot. Yeah, it was definitely fun. I want to thank real quick the sponsor for Get Cannabis, always being there for us and promoting, sponsoring with us. And it's super early morning here, so even after this show, we're going to continue on working. And again, I want to thank you personally, and Trevis, thank you for being here. Trevis, anything you want to talk about or throw in?
I just want to say thank you to Saurav. I'm not that good at Hindi, but I think it's G Shukriya. How was my pronunciation? Okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that's thank you in Hindi. All right. So appreciate you coming. And like you embody what we do here at Codes and Censor. Anybody can come in from around the world and share their story and have a whole new life of coding like you did. You learned different programming languages out of necessity. So we always champion that. And we appreciate everybody watching. And, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, and Saurav, this is your moment. Go ahead and talk to everyone listening and everyone watching. What do you want to promote? Who do you want to thank? Any love interest you may have and want to throw out there like, I miss you, baby. This is your moment.
Yes, thanks for having me again. And you've spoken about the extension, and there are a couple of more side projects that I'm working on. So feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm happy to connect with you, and we could work together. That'll be great.
Absolutely. Rohini just commented saying this was so much fun. Thank you for watching, Rohini. But yeah, no, with that being said, thank you so much. We'll sign off from India all the way to Georgia. Thank you for watching, guys.